Hey guys, this is Heidi with a Successful Fashion Designer, and this tutorial is how to calculate your hourly rate when you are freelancing. I've created a really simple spreadsheet for you guys that you can use to input a couple different values and figure out your hourly rate in literally 30 seconds. If you want to grab it, click the button on the video now and go ahead and download that file to follow along with me. All right, now the first thing I want to talk about is how a lot of designers think they should calculate their hourly rate. So we have that up here. And if your salary rate is $40,000, you can calculate your hourly equivalent by simply dividing by the number of working hours per year. That is 2,080 hours based on 52 weeks a year. So what a lot of designers will do is they will say, well, I make $40,000 a year. My freelance rate should be, let's say, $20 an hour. That doesn't work because a lot of overhead and expenses that come with being a freelancer that we'll talk about in just a minute. But let's go ahead and see what would happen if we change this, let's say, to $75,000. Your hourly rate goes up to $36 an hour. So you might think, oh, I can charge $37.50 an hour. Again, that doesn't work, and we'll go through that now. So how you should actually be calculating your hourly rate. Let's take a look at this. Our desired salary, this is the first place you're going to start. Input your desired salary. And I'm going to say I actually want to do $75,000. And again, the numbers in the spreadsheet will automatically update based on the number that you change this to. The fields that are in green are the fields that you're going to want to look at changing. You don't need to change them all. You don't have to change them all, but that's where you can put in different numbers and the total numbers in your spreadsheet will change. All right, the next thing that a lot of freelancers don't think about is your overhead and expenses. Some of these are kind of obvious, maybe an office, a computer, a phone, software, various things like that. Some of these are not so obvious, so let's go down the list to point out a couple. One is education. I don't know about you, but I love learning new things, and when they're related to my industry, these are business expenses and overhead, so I include those in my expenses. I want to be able to do about $2,000 in education a year, so I include this in here. Promotion and marketing. If I need to print flyers or maybe do some type of networking event that's going to cost me a little bit of money, I need to add that in to my expenses. You can also see that I've put in here the times per year this happens. So your office is going to be a monthly expense, so that needs to be multiplied by 12. Your computer, maybe you only buy that every other year, so that's only a half a year expense, 0.5. You're gonna be able to split that expense across 2 years. Your phone happens monthly, so on and so forth. So you can change the number of times you pay for this per year. Now, coming down to the most important two that I have here at the bottom, self-employment tax. When you work as an employee, your employer pays a portion of your taxes for you. It's a tax that's, I think, 15.4%. Your employer pays half of it and you pay half of it. When you are self-employed, you have to pay all of it. That's right. When you're self-employed, your taxes are actually higher. So you need to add this into your expenses. So if your desired salary is $75,000, you're going to pay about $6,000 a year extra in taxes that's beyond what you would normally pay if you were an employee. I know it doesn't really add up, but that's how the numbers work. The second one is a buffer for unpaid clients. It will happen, clients will not pay. So this number will automatically calculate based on changing your desired salary. This is a percentage of your projects that will probably go unpaid. It's one of the sacrifices of being a freelancer. Now, what happens is this calculates our total expenses, and we need to figure out this plus our desired salary. So that's where your actual salary comes in. So if you want to make $75,000 a year, you're going to have about $20,000 in expenses. So your actual salary needs to be about $95,000. Coming down, we're going to calculate our billable and workable hours to figure out our hourly rate. Again, all these things are calculating for you. The only things you've input so far is your desired salary and any expenses here that you want to change or any additional expenses that you have that I don't already have listed. So we come down to our billable and workable hours. And the first thing we've got, our maximum workable hours is 2,080, again, based on 52 weeks per year. The next thing we have is we've got some vacation. I like to vacation. I want to take 30 days of vacation. That's about 6 weeks of vacation. At 8 hours per day, that's 240 hours a year that I'm going to take off. You can change this. If you only want to take 2 weeks of vacation, you would change this to be 10 days. All right, so that is going to adjust your hourly rate based on how many vacation days you put in there. So I'm going to go ahead and say 30 still because that's what I like. Sick days, I'm going to take 5 sick days a year, and I'm going to take 10 holiday days per year. Okay, so that all calculates for me. Our final calculations are done down here. We have 360 hours that we want to take off per year, which means we actually have 1,700 hours that we're going to spend working approximately. Now this one line item here, this is a very important line. This is our buffer for non-paid work. When we are a freelancer, we do a lot of things that are not actually billable hours. If you're working hourly, you are prospecting new clients, you're sending out proposals, you're having phone calls with clients to figure out if they're a good match for you, you're working in QuickBooks and doing invoicing and accounting. These are all things that you have to do to run your business, but you're not actually able to bill for them. So I say that about 30% of your time is spent doing things that are not actually billable. So what this does is this calculates if I need to make $95,000 a year and 30% of this time is not billable, I actually need to bill 1,200 hours per year, roughly. And if I need to bill 1,200 hours per year and I need to make $95,000 in order to finally get $75,000 of income, my hourly rate is going to be $79. Now, I'm always going to round that up so you can see right here, you'll just change this based on your inputs to $80 an hour. Again, these numbers are all input by you to decide how much you want to make per year, and this will help you calculate what your hourly rate needs to be. So go ahead and download the spreadsheet. Again, the link is on the screen right now. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I am so Heidi with the Successful Fashion Designer. If you like what I'm doing, check out my website. I give away tons of free content and tutorials you don't see here on YouTube. Go ahead and sign up for my email list. I'd love to get to know you and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.